How's your first week been?
And I've been good. First and foremost, it's been good to get on the grass again and on the training pitch, which is, as all managers and coaches will tell you, is probably the most enjoyable part of what we do. But it's given me a good opportunity to get into the players, get to know them. It still takes a while, but certainly grateful that it's an international week. And I say a real good opportunity to get some of the work done that needs to be done.
Did anything surprise you about the group and your first weekend?
No. There are certain aspects of our game that never change. The players enjoy training. You would find it very surprising if a new manager comes in anywhere and the players don't train well. It's a normal reaction. So no, not really. It's probably just getting to know some of the aspects of the club, other people at the club that I don't know, and of course walking into a sort of COVID environment as such, which is obviously different for me because I haven't done that. But what we do have is those that are very well advised at the club and a wonderful medical staff and that of course know everything that goes with it.
I was going to ask you about the COVID stuff. Since you arrived, I'm not linking the two, but all of Nottingham's gone apart when it comes to COVID since you arrived.
Yes.
With all
well, definitely nothing to do with me.
I know that. But how do you find yourself managing a situation that is so very, very difficult to manage?
Well, I think first and foremost is that you come from an outside COVID environment. So, of course, all the rules and regulations that are the normal rules outside of football, you are very conscious of. But of course, football's a more enclosed environment, where groups of players and of course more stringent. So these are the things that you have to cope with. And probably, in a new manager going into a new job, there are lots of things that he has to deal with straight away. And, this one, which is quite a big one, of course, because it affects so many people, is one that's thrown in. But we have to cope with it and get on with it as does everybody else.
You spoke about the opportunity that every player in the squad will have to impress you this week. Are you looking at the size of the squad and thinking, actually, I do have depth to call upon here?
Yes, my responsibility of this club is that come the end of the window is to be in the best place that we possibly can, and that's having the squad that we need to, of course, go on and get results and get some success for this team and football club. So we still have 2 days to go, 1 day to go, I should say, and we've got to do the best that we can. But there is good depth in the squad. I think as regards the numbers and those that are available, then I say there's good depth. I've just got to make sure and get the areas right that I need to make sure I get right.
Could you give us a rough kind of ballpark of how many players you're looking at adding between now and 5 o'clock tomorrow?
No, because it's a good squad. It's a good squad. Hence, going back to last season and the team doing well, of course, for that big period of that season. So no, it's a good squad. It's just making sure that we've got the right balances. So if there is an opportunity and we think it's right, then we will do something. If not, then we won't. But certainly as regards the numbers that we have got good numbers.
And Anthony Knockout is a name that's been thrown at you already, but can I throw Harry Wilson as a name at you as well?
Yeah, of course you can throw lots of names at me, but it's normal at this probably at any stage of a transfer window. There are going to be names that are going to be mentioned, and I think I would be the same as every manager and every club. That you only speak about players that are your players and or potentially your players. So there will be lots of speculation, but I think, as you know, the very large amount of speculation is generally not fact.
Since you've been in the city now for a week, I just wonder how many Forest fans have found you, come over, spotted you and told you that you are the Messiah?
Well, no, not many, and probably because it's in effect been the training ground till quite late in the evening, and then straight back to the hotel, and then back to the training ground, very early the next day. So, first and foremost, I'm delighted to be here. It's hugely disappointing, the same as anybody in football, that we're not able to play games in front of a crowd. And of course, I've been to this stadium on numerous occasions. I know the atmosphere that we can get here, and away support. So that's disappointing. But no, I think it's a different environment, and most important for me is to get on, with the job, get on with the players, and look, hopefully, to get some results.
Man is used to pressure. I think they call it up in Newcastle the Goldfish Bowl, don't they? But do you feel the weight of expectation at all?
I think there's expectation anywhere that you go, and certainly I've come in at a stage of the season that's very early in the season, so that's something that I'm grateful for. That there are still an awful lot of football to be played and games to be played, but I think pressure comes with every job, and probably on most circumstances as manager, that pressure comes from within. The pressure that you put on yourself to do well, to get results, to get the team playing the way that you want to, and of course, you have bosses and owners that of course you want to be able to give them what they want.
What sort of test do you think Blackburn will be?
Well, I think a big test on any occasion, but they're in very good form at the moment, and they're in a good place, good rhythm, got a lot of consistency in the team. They haven't made too many changes, so I think the simple fact that they've got off to a good start, scoring goals. Yes, it means it's certainly a tough one to come into, but again, that's the challenge. The challenge is that we're up against a team that we know is in good form, and we are very conscious of that.
How are you feeling about returning to the sidelines, and how do you think you'll feel when you get there on Saturday?
Well, I think it should click into place very quickly. I mean, our game is about rhythm and momentum and familiarity, and this is what I've done for a long time. Albeit that I've been at the game for a while, a small period of time, but it clicks back in as it does on the training pitch, as it does, talking and organising with the players. So, but very much looking forward to it. Of course, what is different is it's a different environment that I'm walking into. So that I'm looking forward to the experience, but I think that would be something I hope will come quite naturally.
Managing without fans in attendance, those microphones and those cameras pick up all sorts of language nowadays on the sidelines. Is that something you had to even think about? Like, you wouldn't usually have to consider it, because everything that you say is found out, even if it's just tactically. No,
it's something that I must admit I haven't thought about, because I haven't wanted to. I mean, what you want to be able to do is manage the exact same way that you always manage, and coach the exact same way that you always coach. And I presume there will be perhaps some words heard from probably both camps that might get picked up, but that's normal, and it's part of the game. And what you don't want is the circumstance to make you any different to what that you always are. So yes, for whatever them circumstances are, certainly I'll cope with that.
Appreciate your time. Can I just ask you one last question? It's about Project Big Picture and everything that's happened this week. What have been your thoughts on the way that it emerged and the way that it seems to have been kicked into the long grass since? And I wonder whether or not you feel that the Premier League does have a duty to help support the Football League and lower divisions at difficult times that these are.
Yeah, well, I think probably a few things that one, with the role that I've got now, and certainly the week that I've had, then it hasn't been the first thing on my mind. I must admit, it's been very much about the work in hand here with the team. My thoughts are very much always with the teams in the pyramid and the teams that are finding it. I mean, I think we'll continue to find it very, very difficult over a period of time. I don't know if it's actually confirmed, but what I did hear was that it was something that that the 20 Premier League clubs didn't want. So I think there'll be lots of talk around it, and what I am very confident of is that whatever the outcome is over a period of time, it will be the correct outcome for the game. And say somebody that's been in the game a long time, it's certainly those teams in the pyramid, lower down in the pyramid, that we need to make sure that they are secure and be secure for a long time.